Hey there, welcome back to My Yard is My Garage. I'm Bishop, your host, and yep, my yard is my garage. Today we're working on our 1969 Charger. We have our QA1 lower control arms. Let's unbox those, see what they look like compared with the old ones, and maybe we can get these on its front feet today. So, what we have here, well, let me tell you the whole story. All right, so what we have here are a set of lower control arms for a B-body Dodge, which means 68, 69, and 70. These should work on. There's a left and a right. If this was the front of the car, that's where these would bolt into. Your torsion bar would lock into the back here. Your spindle would be over here. So technically they should be this way in the car. You know, kind of an angle like this. Lower ball joint from your spindle. This would be where your bumper is. This is the problem right here. The perch, for whatever reason, for the stabilizer bar or sway bar, is on the back. Should be over here. So, and it's a shame they're in such good shape too. So I got these ones from QA1. Let's open these up, see what it looks like. It's got some beef to it. Instructions. Wow, well, let's just take a look at these for a second. These, wow, those are stout. Welds are really good, solid, thick, metal, really good thick. That's just a bar of steel there on the bottom. Wow. And QA1. So let's see, which is which side? Okay. There we go. Perch is on the right side. That's a good thing. Oh, it comes with a bumper. Let's grab this other one and you can kind of see here. Technically, these would be on the same side. Perch, perch. Yeah, nice. Shock goes here. Sway bar bolts here. Yes. Those look really nice. Yay. So, one thing I did notice is that these don't come with the adjuster here. So you'll have to either use an old adjuster or get a set of new ones. I have a set that are relatively new. So I'll just use those. Let's go take these over and put them on the car. All right, there's our new QA1. All right, we have our strut stabilizer bar. So that needs to go in here first. All right, that fits. So far, so good. I'm going to put these things on. It's going to loosely fit. I'll torque them down once I get everything in place. All right, so our stabilizer control arm rod goes over here. All right, so that goes in there. At the same time, this goes through the K arm. Yeah, save putting that in until after you get your lower arm in. All right, let's throw some bolts on this. Throw our washer on. Our lock nut. All right, so this we're going to tighten to 90. This will tighten to 70. Before I anchor that down, I'm going to actually tighten up the shock absorber. No, I'm not yet. Let's do this in order. $90. Yep, one bishop. All right, so I couldn't find an original set of these stabilizer rods. The ones that I had, one was rusted through, and well, I had to do a little deletion on some of the metal on the other one. So this is a new set, but they're adjustable. So what you need to do first is torque down your torsion bar lower A-arm. Then you remove the adjustability on here. Well, you undo the bolts enough so that it can move freely and center itself. Then snug it down, then torque it. And since I tightened the Jesus out of this, I'm going to have to come in here and unnut these nuts. Is that a word? I don't think that's a word. Okay, well, maybe a little. All right, that is solid. We're just going to snug it up on the other side here, which we can reach easily. All right, that's good and snug. Let's lock it down. Good and snug for me is that the rubber grommet here on each side is flat against the steel all the way around the circle. Locked.
2 weeks later.
Well, imagine that. We are back where we were a week or two ago. Everything is all tightened up. Everything's buttoned up. Now we just have to put our our spindle assembly on. Okay, that's why you assemble this on here, because man, lifting that whole thing up, that's a lot of weight. All right, so yep. Lower nut. Well, let's see. How are we going to do this? Well, we got a Not sure if you can see it. I'll tilt you. We have our lower ball joint here, which we have to slip up into here. Throw a nut on. Hopefully we aim for this upper one at the same time, while this weighs like 100 pounds. I should get some gloves for this because this could cut me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to coordinate that. All right. Alrighty. Man, shame yesterday was Arms Day. Okay. Upper nut. Yeah, let's not cut ourselves. All right, let's use tools we got. Remind me to bend that a little bit out so we aren't rubbing. All right. Wow, okay. That could not have been any easier. I swear I've done that before and used my jack. Oh. Yeah, that would figure. Sadly, the cheat wrench. See if I've got more room this way. All right, I'm going to give you one recommendation. Go ahead and torque that bottom ball joint before you even bolt this one up. That's going to give you enough extra space that you should be able to get a torque wrench in there and torque that thing down to 100, 110. Before you torque this to 90, make sure you put your adjuster in. Now the QA1s are awesome, amazing. It's fit perfectly. It does not come with the adjusters, which look like this. You can pick a new one of these up. They're not cheap. I've got a new pair of these. So before you torque this down, make sure you put these in. Don't tighten it up too much, just so you see the top of the nut, the top of the bolt exit that flat part. I can't even really see it myself. Oh, that's way too high. All right, right there, just so the threads barely show. All right, push that down. There we go. Now it sits in the cup. The end of the bolt sits in the cup that's on the arm. Yep, you got good movement. Now torque that down. Oofda. All right. We are ready to put a tire on, but since we put our adjuster on, we're going to go ahead and finish doing this on the other side of the car. Then we need to put our torsion bars in, because if we put a tire on this right now and we let it down, it's just going to go zzz, bang all the way up, and that's no bueno. So let's get the other side done, and then we'll put our torsion bars on. Okay, all right. Now, one thing, when you're putting grease in these, you don't fill it so it pops. You fill it so you can start seeing it bulge out. Go kind of slow. I may need to add some more grease to this. I can start feeling it in there. Yep. A couple more squirts and we should be done. Yep. Yep, if you can push on one side, see it move on the other, that means that's grease and not just air. All right, we're good. We'll do the bottom one and then let's move to the other side. And clean up after yourself. Wipe these off. If they came with a rubber cap, put it on there. If they didn't come with a rubber cap, go find a rubber cap and put it on there. Okay, well, here we are. With both sides done, shocks in, I went ahead and just put on the, I guess that's the steering bar, onto the two idler arms, that one, and the one coming off the power steering unit here. And the connecting rod ends, those are on there as well. They're just slightly snugged. Nothing is tight because I still need to kind of dial in a front end alignment, and I really can't do that till the tires are on, some weights on it, and I can roll it back and forth. But also, this is going to be something big. Thank you, Art, for the steering wheel, and a treat for all of us. I'm going to move the steering wheel And yes, the first time we get movement left and right off of our front suspension. Alrighty, well there you have it. You've got front suspension underneath our project. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here because it's raining really hard, and I think we've gotten over a major hurdle here. The next thing that we're going to want to do is grab the torsion bars, which are new. Go ahead and get those installed, but I'm going to do that in a separate video because that's kind of its own thing. So once we get our torsion bars in, then we can at least do a preliminary adjustment for height, get our tires on, and we can put it back on its own feet for the first time in a lot of years. All right, well, thanks for coming by. I'm Bishop, your host. This is My Yard is My Garage. Here we are out in the rain. Yes, the Pacific Northwest. Well, hey, thanks again for coming by. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you want to be notified when I hit new content, drop new content, hit the bell, and, well, leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know what you think. All that stuff helps kind of bubble the channel up, get more people viewing what could be help for some people, or a giggle for others. Thanks again. I'm Bishop, your host. We'll see you next time. Oh yeah, My Yard is My Garage.